Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. An Edina home built under the direction of architect Frank Lloyd Wright Jr. gets award-winning recognition. Brian and Linda Tell are the winners of the 2014 Heritage Award for their preservation of the Arthur Erickson House at 5501 Londonderry Road. The Arthur Erickson House was built in 1950. Arthur Erickson and his brother Alfred commissioned Frank Lloyd Wright Jr. to design two homes on the west side of Edina. The two ran a petroleum business called Erickson Brothers that eventually grew to become Holiday Station stores. The home belonging to Alfred was torn down in 1998, making the preservation of the Arthur Erickson House even more exceptional. Wright brought many elements of the outdoors into his design of the home, including indoor irrigated planters that line the edge of the house. Each planter is shaped like a triangle, with two of the three sides serving as floor-to-ceiling windows looking out into the yard. In addition to many windows, the home has a sprawling Z shape that allows each room to have an open and bright feeling. After Arthur died, his wife Elsie continued to live in the home until 1981. Then Arthur's nephew Donovan Erickson moved into the home with his wife Beth. They sold the home in 1996 to the Tells. The Tells have made every effort to preserve the integrity of Wright's original design.
The challenge of maintaining the house is quite an endeavor, but it's kind of fun because it's such a wonderful home. It's a party home, a beautiful place to have a party. The pool outside is like being, although it's a California ranch style home, it's like being in an Italian palazzo. So we just love entertaining here.
The Tells accepted the award at the May 20th City Council meeting. The Edina Heritage Award is given by the Heritage Preservation Board for outstanding contributions to the preservation, rehabilitation, restoration, and use of Edina's heritage resources. An important milestone in the community has been reached. In May, the city approved a master redevelopment plan for Pentagon Park. The $500 million project is one of the largest redevelopment projects approved in Minnesota this year. Pentagon Revival has proposed a redevelopment of Pentagon Park, a 43-acre site along 77th Street. The Pentagon Park Office Park, consisting of 15 multi-tenant office buildings, was built in the late 1960s. For several decades, it was well positioned in the market and had much success, but has been on the decline for many years. Since 2004, the assessed valuation of the Pentagon Park properties has declined by 60%. The vacancy rate of some of the buildings far exceeds that of the marketplace. The area is in need of redevelopment so that these trends are reversed. Nearly every building requires significant repair after several years of deferred maintenance. The new owner envisions a complete transformation of the private properties in the next 2 to 15 years. Pentagon Revival has proposed 1.4 million square feet of office space, 40,000 square feet of retail, a 400-room hotel, 6,400 parking stalls, and possibly some housing. The first phase of development will likely be on the Pentagon Tower site, which would include office buildings, the hotel, limited retail, and parking structures.
The redevelopment will be massive in scale. There's not too many massive projects occurring in the state these days. The City of Edina hasn't seen anything of this size or scope in over 25 years, when Centennial Lakes was converted from the gravel pit into a vibrant mixed-use area. So we're talking that level of redevelopment. It'll be the biggest in Edina in a generation. It will be one of the biggest in the state for the next 5 or 10 years.
The agreement between the city and Pentagon Revival establishes a public-private partnership that will enable the use of future incremental property taxes generated at the site to reimburse the developer for costs of new public improvements and site preparations. Demolition of the vacant buildings is likely to begin later this year. The developer is expected to seek final development plan approval from the city for the first phase of development within 1 year. For the last decade, researchers and farmers have noticed honeybees are dying off at an alarming rate. That's the message two ninth grade students from Southview Middle School presented at a recent City Council meeting. Edina 16's Dietrich Nissen spoke with the girls about their advocacy and why keeping honeybees alive will pay off for us all.
A couple of our young residents from Southview Middle School.
A passion for the well-being of honeybees led ninth grade students Eleanor Carlson and Sarah Higgins to create a buzz on their behalf at a recent Edina City Council meeting.
We're both ninth grade students at Southview Middle School.
I think that people really should care about honeybees because they impact our society so much more than we ever realized.
Bees are crucial to the growth and health of agricultural crops and all of nature. Without honeybees, flowers would not bloom, vegetables would not grow, and no honey would be made. If bees went extinct, we would lose 1/3 of our food and also $14 billion in crops.
The two began this project 5 months ago as part of their AP government class. According to their research, in the last 50 years, air pollution, overuse of pesticides, and the destruction of bee habitats have led to the deaths of nearly 70% of honeybees worldwide.
It's kind of scary to think about that, why is this happening and what's causing it. There were over 5.5 million colonies in America. That was in about the 1940s, and now there are only 1.3 million colonies.
It was really shocking. Before we had dug into it, it didn't seem like that much of a problem. There's still honeybees in the meadows. It's not that big a deal, but we decided to really look into it, and it's shocking how many bees are dying and how few people are actually standing up for them.
And that's why the girls decided they would be local advocates for change.
We're trying to get approval from the mayor to plant some of our own bee-friendly gardens or flowers around Edina.
In addition, the girls would like to legalize honeybee keeping in Edina and discourage other residents from using harmful chemicals in their gardens.
We really do want to go work with some honeybees and their hives and see how all that works firsthand. And we'd actually really like to be present in some more city council meetings until we see what we want done.
Right.
In Edina, Dietrich Nissen, Edina 16.
Head to Ellie and Sarah's website to find out more information about their mission to protect honeybees. Thanks for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.